Welcome back to Move It Fix Monday. I'm here with Mike, Cerbus.
Guys.
And what we're going to look at is the cue of pushing up or shrugging up in the snatch or overhead squat.
Absolutely.
And like, what do we really want people to do?
Yeah.
This is something I've like talked with a lot of people about because it's kind of like a controversial. There's not. I don't know if I would say controversial.
I would say controversial.
There's a lot of varying opinions on this.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what do you want the shoulder blade to do? Are you trying to pack it down in a snatch?
Right.
Are you trying to push it up? Are you trying to come forward? Like.
So I think I have my concept. I would hope would simplify it and kind of work for everyone, regardless of which school of thought you're coming from. If we rewind though, we were all laughing at the start. I think Ryan was thinking I was like Ricky Bobby. I didn't know what to do with my hands, so I'm holding my
I don't know.
impromptu.
I was mesmerized because it looked incredible. Whatever you're doing looked incredible.
All right, so let's get back to like what are you doing when you support the bar overhead? And what Ryan was saying is maybe you'll go in a gym and somebody will catch a snatch or they'll do a jerk and a coach will start yelling like push up on the bar, push up on the bar, or push through your shoulders, and that gets into the debate of when I'm supporting the bar overhead, do I push my shoulders up to my ears as hard as I can? Do I try and pull my shoulder blades back down and support the weight? Like what do I do and what's right, what's wrong? From my opinion, if you focus more on the extension of your elbow when you're supporting weight, your shoulder will go where it should. So I'm looking to get resistance. So like one of the easiest things to look like a viewpoint is if I push, so I have my elbow locked out and I push on this bar as hard as I can, my shoulder eventually will go into place, like it's going to set as deep as it can. I can't push through my shoulder for very long, it's gonna fatigue. So if I'm supporting weight overhead and I'm pushing up through my shoulders, eventually that weight is gonna demand me to get pushed back down into place.
And the other thing too, when people do push that up, they often internally rotate and then
The
anterior
push up
translate.
turns into more of a push forward, which is getting you out of line.
Which is definitely not what I think when people say push up, I don't think they want you
I don't think there's any coach
push
that's
up and
trying to get you to do that. I think they're trying to get you to be more active with the barbell. So my quick cue is to be active is to push through your elbow. If you push as hard as you can through your elbow, which is giving you full extension and focusing on your triceps, your shoulder is going to go into its best position and it's going to stay there. So when it's lightweight, you push up hard through your elbow. When the weight gets heavier, you keep pushing up hard through your elbow and your shoulder will settle where it needs to within that position. And then you don't have to get so complicated with, shrugging your shoulders up to your ears or pulling your scaps back together. I like to focus on wrist and elbow.
The pulling the shoulder blades together creates weird elbow issues, right?
Exactly.
Because pulling your shoulder down, that's
almost like a passive
It's a pulling mechanism,
yeah.
right? And then what happens a lot of times is people are like, I can't lock my elbow out overhead. And it's because they're thinking about pulling their shoulder blade down, which activates their whole pulling, and then they're like, I can't do it.
Exactly.
And so the cue for them could be maybe twofold, right?
Yeah.
Think about locking your elbow, but sometimes that doesn't work.
That's not always
And
enough.
then you have to think about push up everything toward the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's a time where I found the shrugging,
can be helpful.
Absolutely. To undo the pulling the shoulder blades together. But if someone's not doing that, then that pushing up cue might make them internally rotate and stress their shoulder in a way. So that's like one cue can't always work for everybody.
One cue doesn't work for everybody. One cue could have good intentions, but then get used into a poor situation. So that comes back to you. If you're the mover, understanding how you're moving. If you're the coach, understanding how your athlete's moving and how they're taking that cue. So I try to go maybe a layer with some more depth in the cue, and it's pushing up, but it's pushing up to maintain elbow extension, which is ultimately going to transfer all the weight into my back where I want to be supporting the weight. So I'm going to kind of de-emphasize the shoulders. Those are meant to rotate. Right? I want to extend through my elbow and my wrist.
Yeah, I think you have to ultimately know what's the baseline position that you're trying to get everybody to, and then you have to use all the different cues depending on what are the weird things that people are doing that's taking them away from that.
Absolutely.
And then using the right cues to push them toward that, right? Which is why if someone's over here, you have to cue it that way, but if someone's over here, that cue would push them this way, which is actually farther away.
Yeah, we in the fitness community, we live in a very subjective, world. It's not black or white. The gray area is kind of the important area. So kind of the public service announcement could be: don't get too attached to a cue, and don't think one thing is right and one thing is wrong all the time. Have some flexibility and ultimately have an understanding of how the body should be functioning.
Right. Because if you understand that, then you understand why the cues make sense in some areas and not others.
Exactly.
But if you try to just worry about cues and never really the understanding, You just don't know what the hell cue to use, right?
Yep. So seek out some deeper knowledge with
there
the
you
body.
go. If you want more deeper knowledge, this is a good segue.
There we go.
I had to look up how that word is spelled, by the way. It's
Segue or deeper knowledge?
segue.
Okay.
It's actually spelled, anyways, you guys look it up. But, wow, I don't know how I got to this, but, if you want to learn some deeper knowledge, my segue, check out @MikeCerbus on Instagram.
Absolutely.
If you don't follow the Move It Fix, you can find me @the Move It Fix. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.
See you guys later.
Next week.